FC Cincinnati took game one against New York City FC in the MLS postseason first round, but let's talk about what this means for the City Boys with Dave Moncion, co-host of the New York City FC Forever podcast. My man, physical game, bro. Physical game. You thought that they were going to break through and actually, score, get some sort of equalizer. No one wants to hear me talk. First and foremost, thanks for hopping on, man. Give me your biggest takeaways from last night's loss.
Hey, thanks for having us on here, man. NYCFC Forever podcast. You know the vibes, man. Listen, we all thought we were going to come out and play a bit differently. NYCFC came and they played very, I want to say conservative. You know, they lacked creativity. They let the game come to them, especially in the first half. They allowed a lot of pressure to come to them. Kubo ended up having an amazing touch. Kubo on the other side on Cincinnati almost scored that. We only had one real chance in the first half. It was very defensive that first half. Second half, things changed. Cincinnati brought that pressure even more, and it was like we couldn't do anything about it. It was. I don't want to say it was weird, but it was just one of those things where I felt like they were kind of toying with us. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when they scored that goal. You know, you had Kubo makes space for Odiano. He sends the pass over to Acosta, and Acosta just boots it right to the middle. Who's there? Boom, Assad with a nasty flick for a goal. And then immediately, almost after that, Odiano had another strike, which would have been a golazo if that went in, but he ended up hitting the post. But it was like, come on, what are we doing here? You know, this is a playoff game. We need to come with a little bit more pressure than that. You know what I'm saying? So I expected a little bit more. I think all of New York expected a little bit more because, listen, all four New York teams ended up with L's yesterday. The Yankees, the Knicks, NYCFC, the Giants. I don't know if Brooklyn play. I don't really count Brooklyn as, that's New Jersey Nets. But, listen, we had a horrible time yesterday, man. It was
you get an L, you get an L, you get an L. But are you surprised? Are you surprised Nick Cushion went with the conservative approach to last night?
I wasn't surprised at all. I don't want to say that I expected it, but I wasn't surprised because it's a 3-game series and the goals don't carry over.
Okay.
So you got to take one game at a time. With the next game, this is going to be a different story. We're going to be at Citi Field. We're going to be in Queens. It's a different environment. Our fans like to bring it. So I think Nick Cushion went with that mentality. We got to take it one game at a time. We played Cincinnati. This was the 4th time we played them already. I believe we beat them I think we beat them twice this season. Oh, no, we beat them one time, 3-2, a couple weeks ago. Yep. So we can do it. We have the opportunities to do those things, to win games. And we can beat this team. We know that we can beat this team, especially in New York City.
Well, I'm going to get your keys to the match for Game 2 in a little bit, but something that impacts what Nick Cushion does is Tavon Gray drawing that red card and getting ejected, final minutes or final seconds of last night's match. He's also suspended for the next game in the series. How big of a loss is that for New York City FC defensively?
I expected more from Tavon. I'm going to be real with you. He's already at this point, he's a vet, and he's a champion. You got to keep your head, man. You got to keep your cool in these games. This is a playoff game. Now, defensively, how much is it going to affect us? I don't want to say too much. Obviously it's going to affect us. Here's the issue with it. We have a Lineage, replacing him, so it's spot for spot, which is great. But what if something happens to a Lineage? Then what? We don't have that depth anymore. So with that, it's like, come on, you need to keep your head on the swivel. I understand it's a playoff game. I understand there's a lot of emotions going through. But he's a veteran on this team already. He's a champion. He's been in this situation already. He's got to do a little better than that.
Yeah, you got to keep your cool in that moment, especially with him being the caliber of player that he is. You mentioned that lack of depth going into Game 2, which is going to be at Citi Field on Saturday. All right, let's break this down because it's a must-win. Give us your keys to the match.
All right, I got 4 of them for you. The first one, pressure. We got to score early. New York City Football Club, we have had a lot of success when we scored in the first 20 minutes of matches. We need to do that again. The second one, tactics. I know you're not a tactics guy, but we gotta change something up. We got to bring some more creativity in there. One thing that I didn't expect for for the first match was not seeing Maxey in the starting lineup. I hope to see Maxey in the starting lineup so that we have some sort of creativity.
Okay.
My third thing is energy. We got to bring the energy. Us supporters, the fans, everybody going to the match, we have to bring it so that the players feel that energy. You know how it is playing at Citi Field. We have the advantage. It's a small pitch. It's loud at Citi Field, so we need to bring that energy. And the last thing is for the team, mentality. It's a playoff game. Now our backs are on the ropes.
Yeah.
It's a do or die situation. So the boys need to come and bring it. They don't need any more motivation than what's already on the plate for them.
And I know the vibes are going to be on fire at Citi Field. I was at the playoff game, 2 years ago when Inter Miami came up. I didn't sit down there in the rain. What? I felt like a little kid just outside, just having a great time. So it looked like
we sent them boys packing.
Yep. Hopefully, team turns it around on Saturday. Hey, Dave, tell the people they can find you, and shout out the platform and the podcast.
No doubt. All right, you can find me at Doobie_Rocks with a Z, and you can follow our podcast, NYCFC Forever Podcast, at NYCFC Forever Pod on all platforms, on X, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We're there. We post videos, we post reels, we have our podcast, which is weekly, sometimes twice a week. So you already know.
All right, man. See you Saturday.
I'll be there. See you.